So, for all of you out there who are wondering what is America's worst nightmare, some people think it's world peace. Some people think it's peace in the Middle East. Some people think it's a Bernie Sanders versus Ron Paul election, which I think that's a top five worst nightmare, at least according to the people who run this country. But some people think it's the unification, particularly the sexual and holy matrimonial unification of black men and white women. Which, if this was the 20th century, I would completely agree with you, the 20th century and prior. But considering the fact that we're in the 21st century, and I'll elaborate why in a bit, I will have to respectfully disagree. And I have to give a shout out to Guy King on this because he's actually done a series or a few videos in relation to how the matrimony or holy matrimony of black men and white women is America's worst nightmare. To which, once again, I say I have to respectfully disagree, sir. And you want to know the reason why? Well, let's look down the line. Let's look at the modern day white American women. Yeah, a lot of them, for some reason, have decided that, my grandmother, she epitomized femininity, and she was on her knees, scraping the floors, having kids, serving her man, and was happy doing it for 60 or so years while she was with my grandfather, and they both died in each other's arms after a blissful, happy marriage and a stable house. But no, I don't want that anymore. I'm quoting the modern day thought pattern of the white woman here. And not all, but a lot of them. But a lot of them have decided to go into one or two directions. Either the average white woman of today resembles one of a girl of yellow, a party. We gotta go to part. We gotta go out this weekend because my daddy left me his credit card and we need to max it out. So yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go to the city and we gotta go to the bars and we gotta go club hopping. We'll get them for free and we got guys buy us drinks and yeah. Well, you may have to bone one of them. So that's fine, but they'll buy us clothing and they'll reimburse our max credit cards, and if they don't, I'll just cry to daddy and I'll just rub on his shoulders and say, Daddy, I'm so sorry. And if that doesn't work, well, Tina, I'll leave him. I'll let you spend the night with my daddy in the hotel room, and all will be forgiven. Trust me, I will not be jealous. Just because I dream of that doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Ew, what do you take me as, a slut? Either the average white woman is a typical YOLO girl of that nature, or the average white woman, specifically the ones that a lot of Negroes go for, resemble the yo bitch, just woke fakey bitch. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll suck a nigga dick. I'll have his baby. I can cook. I can fry chicken better than a hood rat could. I don't give a shit if I'm white, but I'll have a nigga baby, and I'll name him Cristiano Fonte out of Wakante. Now I mean, bitch, because I'm woke Vicky. I'll steal your man. I'll have his friends running train on me, and he'll keep me because you know what? I don't give the nigga lip. I don't give a shit. I use nigga, but I love my nigga. All you gonna do is make a nigga pay child support. Nigga, I'll marry a nigga. I'll have his baby. All his babies. Because I'm more fake bit. Yeah, exactly. You get my point. Look up Wolf Vicky if you don't know who I'm imitating. But look, The average white woman of today resembles one of those two characteristics. And alongside that, have you seen the respect that the average white woman gives to white men? I mean, it's absurd. And quite frankly, you got a lot of these white women, even those who don't fit into one of those two categories, will constantly talk about toxic white male masculinity and whatever, Tumblr or BuzzFeed or NPR tells her how to think about white men, she will follow the script. Not to say there aren't plenty of white men, particularly in America, who aren't deserving of that. But yeah, let's be honest. 50% divorce rates. Out of those 50% that last, I mean, how many of them are really happy? And how many of them have the men running the house, or even with it being 50-50, as a lot of women want it today? Look, the white women of today are not June Cleaver. They are not Elizabeth Taylor. Hell, they aren't even Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, let's be real. A lot of white women, particularly white American women and white Western women today, have a lot to be desired, to say the very least. That's the main reason why I say the white women, or I should say the unification of the black man and the white woman, is the second worst fear of America. Because a lot of white men who are married to white women are, they're facing their worst fears right now, being divorced, raped, and alimonied, and child supported, and all this other kind of mess. Or if they aren't facing those things, they're facing the sexless, loveless marriage in which he's basically a walking ATM beta bucks. Let's just call it what it is. But to correct you guys, the worst fear of the United States of America, I'm just going to say it, it's not black men with white women. It's black men with Asian women. And why do I say this? Why do I obsess this? There you go, Clutch. You obsessing over Asian women because you want to eat pussy, don't you, Clutch? Man, I know Clutch. Well, what he likes, he likes that shrimp fried rice, happy meal, happy ending special, don't you? Yeah, whatever, dude. Man, they don't got asses though. They need an ass. Oh, well, you go holler at Wo Vicky then. She'll ride you and she'll suck your dick and she'll marry you. She'll call you all sorts and say I love you, nigga. Yeah. So deal with that. But why do I say black men and Asian women? Or hell, you can replace Asian women with Latina women, particularly the non-chilified ones or non-white worshiping ones, Middle Eastern women, Indian women, or even white women from non-feminist countries. Now, that's the number one fear of the United States of America. And quite frankly, it's for various reasons. I mean, for one, if the alt-right, particularly in the case of Asian women, if the alt-right loses their number one salvation, their number one sexual salvation, do you know, oh, that was a nice story, do you know how many of these alt-right guys who just go rage? They'll just rage quit at life. And when they rage quit at life, these guys just don't rage quit in silence. They rage quit by doing school shootings. They rage quit by taking it out on other people. They rage quit by means of Parkland, Florida. They rage quit by means of Elliot Rodgers. But the saving grace, at least in case of black men, particularly those who a lot of these alt-right guys perceive to be the reason behind their sexual lack of sexual access and lack of a sex life, is a lot of these guys tend to shoot their own, like in the case of Parkland, Florida, or like Elliot Rodgers. I mean, you got a guy who's pissed off because he couldn't get laid, and the Parkland guy, and he ends up, and also apparently he's an alt-righter, little basement dwelling storm cucker, and he ends up shooting nothing but white and other non-black kids. Makes a lot of sense. And same case with Elliot Rogers. I mean, dude's pissed off because he couldn't get laid, and he was a bit racist too, but he ended up shooting mostly dudes, none of whom were black. Maybe that's a saving grace of these increased shootings, and in the case that black men were to be found or would become sexually attractive in the eyes of most Asian women, or just feminine women. I mean, let's be real. You notice that a lot of these PUA dude bros, which a lot of them are becoming either MGTOW or alt-righters, a lot of them equate pussy paradise to places where white men are worshipped. There's a reason why a lot of these white guys are giving up on places like Eastern Europe, some Latin American countries, and they've all but given up places like Central Europe, Germany, Japan, Australia. The list goes on, and then they'll say, "Oh, it's feminism. It's feminism. Watch out, the intersectional. The pink hair, the pink hair bitch is there. She's gonna make an appearance. Watch out, Trigglypuff. Wild Trigglypuff appeared. That's what you're gonna get in Australia and Japan." No. A lot of it is correlated to how much black men are desired in certain countries. Do not let them fool you. But the ultimate reason why the pairing of the Asian female and black male is the number one fear in America is because besides the fact that you rarely see it on television, and it's for a reason. It's because it's the ultimate combination, and I hate to go by stereotypes, but it's the ultimate combination of masculinity and femininity. And let's be real. If we ever saw that, if we ever saw black men and Asian women get together en masse, do you know how much black masculinity, or I should say, do you know how much black men would realize that they won't have to thug no more, they won't have to be super hyper, overly well, not to say overly masculine, but just overly niggified in order to just get a piece and also get a peace of mind. Trust me, a lot of these black guys would keep the masculinity but get rid of the niggified attitude, which happens in many cases when black men go for white women, yes. But as we're seeing today with a lot of white women, a lot of them tend to be drawn to the semi-niggification of black men, which is the adverse effect of trying to put black men in this niggified culture in order to have their little Becky daughters fear them, which, as I said, it did the opposite effect. And as far as this niggification of black culture, it does not show any signs of stopping, which, in a way, that's what American society wants, because if you get a black man who can conduct himself in a non-niggified way, but still keep the masculinity, and pair it up with the ultimate form of femininity, that basically goes America for you. I mean, you can just write the end of the story of the United States, at least in the way we know it. I mean, it'll still be here, but it'll just be Canada on steroids. And the worst thing that America really wants is being Canada South. Because I know the many reasons why. But I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. And everyone else out there, always bet on X. And before I go, I should emphasize this point before I go. Black masculinity, without the single motherhood, without the niggification, and without all that stuff, as I said, if that becomes the standard worldwide, a lot of these alt-right storm cut virgin towels, that they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. I've already explained it in this video, but yeah, if you Negroes or if you black men aren't afraid to see what happens, because for some reason I think a lot of you guys tend to hide and being niggified, particularly not because of culture, but because of fear. Yeah, I think it is because of fear. Fear of what whites will do to you if you start having black masculinity without having the black negritude. And that may be a whole nother video I do. But everyone else out there always spit on X.